This is Chris Kelly with a quick video on setting up your nutrition plan for our If It Fits Your Macros approach. All right, and so if you're one of our more advanced clients or you're doing our Abs Revealed program, this is the quote unquote diet that I want you to do. And the key with this one is that this is actually going to require some work. We're going to plan out we're going to plan out your diet, and we're going to figure out what you need specifically for your metabolism versus giving you a boilerplate approach. Okay, and I'm going to warn you, this is going to take a little bit of work, but by the same token, once you get this down, this is a way that you're going to be able to plan for your entire life, without eating quote unquote clean per se. The idea is this is what we call our if it fits your macros approach. Okay, and the idea is that with clean eating, okay, you can only have you're cutting out basically starchy carbs, all vegetables. Or I'm sorry, not vegetables. Really all sweets, all things that we would consider bad food. Where in reality, what this approach states is that as long as you hit your macros, meaning you can get in, if you get in 150 to 200 carbs a day, if those carbs consist of rice or pasta, as long as you hit those numbers, you're going to be fine. You're still going to make progress, and that really is the key. That's what we believe. So that's what we're going to go with. And in this presentation, I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first website I want you to visit is IIFYM.com. Okay, and that's going to bring you to this page. You're going to click on calculators, and you're going to click on IIFYM calculator. Okay, so this brings us to a macros calculator that's going to show me how to calculate my calories. Okay, so I'm going to go down here. The first thing I want to do is figure out my required calories. All right, so I'm 33. I'm about 5'9", and let's say I'm 180 pounds. Okay, and I'm going to say I exercise 4 days a week, strength train, so that's what I'm going to go with there. And again, body fat percentage I'm not sure of. So all I'm going to do is click calculate your TDEE. And this gives me, so my basal metabolic rate, my BMR, is 1754, which means that's what I burn just at rest. If I was doing absolutely nothing, I was a couch potato, I was sedentary, that's what I would, that's what I'm going to burn. But with my activity level, I'm actually burning about 2,400 calories and some change. So now the next step is we pick our goal. Okay, so we have either fat loss or bulking. Okay, so what I want to do here is I'm thinking fat loss. All right, our goal is to flatten our stomach, so we're going to choose aggressive. Okay, and you can pick a couple different things here. We have a bodybuilder diet, we have a zone diet, so you could choose what you're comfortable with. I highly recommend going with IIFYM. Okay, and the formulas are already done for you, so you don't have to worry about that as much. I click calculate, and these are my numbers. Okay, so I'm eating 1,990 calories a day, and that's that's about 211 carbs, 144 grams of protein, 63 grams of fat. Okay, and it breaks it down per meal. Okay, and so you could do one of two things. You can either just the next step would be to set up an account on myfitnesspal.com and try to meet those numbers. Okay, so that would be your guide, and certainly you can do that. Or, and this is what I'm going to show you. The next step would be to create a meal plan for yourself. So with this information, I'm now going to create an account on fitclick.com. Right, FitClick is a website that we use to create diet plans. Okay, once you create your account, it's going to open it up to this page. I'm going to click on diet, and I'm going to click diet tracker. Okay, so I was already using a diet, so what I'm going to do is click on switch plan. Okay, I'm going to choose set up my own diet. I'm going to go to the bottom and click no plan. Okay, so now I know that 1,990 calories is what I'm going to be consuming. and we just have to kind of make that jive with percentages. Go for it again. So I'll say 30% carbs, 35% protein. And the way we could do it is it doesn't on the if it fits your macros approach doesn't give us specific percentages, but we can set it up in those same ranges. Okay, so actually my carbs are too low right now, so I'll say 40%. You know, that way we can kind of see, okay, now that's closer to the range. So we're looking at about 40% carbs, okay, 144 grams of protein. Need to bring the protein down a little bit. Say maybe 30% protein. That's about right. And let's see, it said 63 grams of fat. So we'll say 30%. And that's about right. So we're basically looking at 40% carbs, 30% protein, 30% fat. So those would be my ratios. Okay, and as long as you hit really between this, you're going to be successful. So now my next step is to click submit. Okay, so now those numbers are in the diet tracker. Okay, and the cool thing about FitClick is what I can do is then I could create a meal plan for the next couple weeks. So I'm going to click Get Meals. And what I'm going to say is add a week. I would recommend doing your meals for a week at a time, maybe 2 weeks at the very most, and sticking with those throughout the program. It's going to be easiest that way. In cases where you're really busy, I'd maybe do 2 days and just go back and forth between those two, just because it's easy to prep, and you could do it easily. I can click on custom dates, and I could do 2 days. I could do today only, but I'm going to add a week, so I'm just going to click Add Week. So the cool thing is what it does is now it's generated meals for all of this for me for that week. Okay, and you know the question for you is, you know, do you actually like this stuff? I mean, that's kind of the one disconnect. But what you can do is click on this via this button here or swap meal. And then we could swap out something similar. Okay, so you can search for something up here. You can choose via prep time, ethnicity. Just try to make it like for like, and I believe the screen will bring up ones that are similar. So that way you can kind of play around with it. And that's why I say, you know, only do 2 days maybe, just because, again, if you're planning a week to go through all those meals and replace them takes a little bit more work. So maybe do 2 days that you can really jive with, and you know you'll be a success with that. Now, as far as getting the plan, what we could do is we're going to click. We have a couple different things we could click. All right, to get your grocery list, we're going to click grocery list. Pretty simple. All right, and we're going to do it for the dates indicated. So you see here that we have our grocery list for a week. Okay, you have fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. It tells you exactly what to get. You can adjust the dates and set it for a couple days, you know, or you could do it just for the duration. It's going to default to the duration of your plan. You can click print to print that out. The other cool thing with this is I can click print and it'll bring up the meals, the planned meals that I have for that period of time. So let's say I wanted 2 days only. I would click show. Okay, and so that would have all my meals along with the recipes and the ingredients for that as well for that period of time. So in either case, you can really kind of figure out, you can shop off of that list as well. So that they both make sense. And what I would do is click Create Diet, choose the range that you selected for your diet. So we said February 16th. I think it's February 15th, 2015. So let's say 02/15/15. Through the 21st. Okay, it's going to bring up those meals. All I'm going to do to save this diet so I can use it later is I'm going to click on sample diet. Or I name it whatever I want. I can click diet used for. So that way you have a really good idea of, hey, this works for me. I'm going to click submit. And that's going to allow me to create my diet. So now when I go to my diets, I go to diet plans, or I'm sorry, actually when I go to my diets, you can see all the different diets that I've created for people. That way you can create it yourself. I don't have to do that for you, and that's kind of what I'm looking for this both this beta test as well as being independent. And so that's what we're going to do now. So what I'm looking for our abs program is you are going to do three things. Number one, you're going to calculate your macros on IIFYM.com. Number two, you're going to create your diet plan on fitclick.com. Number three, you're going to create an account on myfitnesspal.com. Okay, this website is pretty simple if you're not familiar with it. Simple calorie tracker. It's really good. You can plug things in. You're going to log in and you're going to friend the spotter. Okay, THESPOTTER. I am the spotter. Okay, that way I can check on your diet plans. I can make any recommendations that are necessary. But that is the goal. By the start of this program, which is going to be next week, next Monday, and I think Monday would be February 23rd, 2015. For all of those in the program, I expect you to have your diets, to friend me, and to actually send me a copy, meaning friend me as well on FitClick. I'll send you a link to my account there. Share with me a copy of your diet so I can review that. I want to see that. Send me either a link or share that with me, and that's how we're going to work. So I know you have. So the goal by the end of, we're starting our program on February 23rd, 2015. That will be next Monday. My goal is for you to do three things. Number one, create your diet on, or calculate your macros on IIFYM.com. Create your diet plan on on fitclick.com. Create an account on myfitnesspal.com and friend the spotter, STHESPOTTER. That's me. That way I can check your diet and make sure you're doing the right thing throughout the program. And that's what I'm. This thing keeps screwing up, but you get the general idea. Good luck, and I look forward to your success.